What is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the video game review of Madden NFL 21. Well, listen, what can you say? I mean, it's the same game as last year, right? It's the same game as last year. They put some things here and there, but otherwise, it's the same game. I mean, they don't try and do anything that to upgrade the anything. It seems like they don't try to upgrade the franchise mode, which is what everybody wants to play. That's the biggest thing. They want they'll play some mud. I'm sure there are people who just do mud. People just do mud, and that's really what they mainly focus on is mud, because you do the microtransactions for mud, and that's where they get. You buy the game and then you buy the mud stuff, so then it makes more money. But that's not what the majority of the people want. The majority of people want to do franchise mode, and they want a detailed, franchise mode, and they want, things like, cities to go to. They don't want the same old cities. They want new franchise, new franchise colors and names and things like that, instead of the same old. They want to build stadiums where you can customize the stadium so that if you want to, you have a retractable roof. You can have it open if you want to put down grass, or if you want to put down, the turf. Do things. You want it open, open air. You want to, things that just customizable. Everybody says it. There's no reason why games from the last generation and beyond should be more detailed than new ones. I mean, they talked about it. It's like if you go back and you play like Madden 07, 08, 09 on PlayStation 2, the franchise mode is much more detailed. It's in a whole lot of different ways than this one is. On 8, 11, 12 years later, on not only the next gen, but the next generation, right? PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 4. Well, there, I remember you could build a stadium and you could have like the theme. You can choose what grass you wanted, right? You can choose if you wanted grass, or if you wanted turf, or if you wanted like a baseball stadium even. You could choose whether you wanted to have an open air, have something open air, or if you wanted to have a roof on it. You so much stuff that you can choose from, customizable, that it just doesn't happen here on it just doesn't happen on whatever this is. Whatever this is. So everything's changed. It still don't fix a lot of things that happen like that. Like for years, I've had the thing where it's been where it's like like last year it was a thing where you created a player, or you put those elbow pads on with the stripe. Elbow pads on with the stripe. It's called padding, team color white, or something like that. So the team color stripe. But then, that's the team color of the jersey. But then when you put on, that's for the home jersey. When you put on the road jersey, it's actually white. The stripe is white for some reason. I don't know why that changes. That shouldn't be changing. And there's so much other god awful things with this thing. You can see it all over Twitter with the glitches and the things and the mistakes. It's and to be honest, like when it comes to the glitches, I don't necessarily get upset at the glitches. The glitches are going to happen. And then you can patch those glitches up. And things like that. The stuff that gets me upset is like a couple years ago, you couldn't run the ball for shit. You could not run the ball for shit. That was something that pisses me off. Why is it that you can't run the ball for shit? Wide open hole, and you still run through it. You should go for 20-yard gain. but somehow you still would get caught. You know, when you sprint to the hole, bam, you still get caught 5 yards. But it's a 20-yard hole, which you should, you know, especially with a fast running back, run straight through, you get caught 5 yards. And they just didn't, you know, and they finally got like a fixture at the end, but it was just too god awful. And it's just a lot of things. It's just not right with the game, you know. And like when you're punting, and when you're backed up and you're on in and you want to punt, you can't see the fucking meter. You can't see the meter, and that's been around for 3 or 4 years now. Why can't you see the meter? God forbid you play in the season mode and they got that other thing going across the bottom. You're definitely not gonna see the meter. You're gonna have to guess. If you want to punt, 20-yard punt, first down, other team in your territory, guaranteed. There are like so many things that they need to do, and really they need to not be so they need to be not so stubborn and steal from other places. Steal from other places. I think they need. I think there are 3 things they need to steal. One is the from NBA 2K, and they need to steal like the creative player thing, where when you create a player on NBA 2K, you can import DNA from another player. So, like, if you create a player, you create yourself, or you're creating somebody else, maybe he's not in the game at that time or whatever, right? You can import them with the DNA of Oscar Robertson, from the DNA of Larry Bird, from the DNA of you know, George Mikan, if you wanted to, right? You import the DNA of everybody, and that's what Madden should do. You should be able to, when you create a player, you should be able to import the DNA of a legend or a current superstar, import the DNA into your created player, right? So that's you know, that's something that they really gotta change. You know, you really gotta. And then adjacent to that, that's not part of the other 2 things, but adjacent to that, talk about creative players. Create a spot where you can create a player and have that player stay, you know, in your system, right? So that when you do your roster updates and things like that, you don't have to create the player all over again. You can just upload them right back into the onto the new roster. Come on, let's do this. Another thing you need to take from NBA 2K is the franchise mode. And again, you know, I play with the Bears. The Bears are my favorite team, but I'm tired of having 34s and 51s and 50s on this, you know, not 50s, but 51s and 34s and all these other retired numbers popping up on the field. Just use the retired numbers, right? Use the retired numbers. Right? There's no reason no reason ever a Chicago Bears should wear, you know, 34. There's no reason ever why wear a what's the name, a Packer should wear no 4, but there's no other reason why a 49er should ever wear 16 or 8, anything like this, right? But you see it all the fucking time. It kills me. It's a lot different than, obviously it's a lot different in Dallas. They retired numbers, but you can still wear them, right? You know, something like that. I don't even know if they retired numbers. They just put them up on the thing. So that Dallas is a different story. But when you actually have retired numbers that you cannot wear, that's what happened with, you know, other teams. And the third thing, without question, it's you know, and this is just, I'm just talking about, there's many more other things that they could do, but you know, just this thing of not having, you know, like playbook, like more playbooks, right? I mean, they have like the playbooks that you get from you know, from all the teams, and then you have the playbooks from, you know, But you know, and then they have like these other playbooks, but you can't use these playbooks, you know, in franchise mode. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? You know, if my scheme, if I want to run a West Coast scheme, then there should be a West Coast playbook. West Coast, West Coast, West Coast, run West Coast power run, right? Then there should be a West Coast power run playbook. Sure, as much as I can use Oakland, who does West Coast power run, or I can use someone else who uses West Coast power run. It should be a West Coast power run playbook just by itself, and it should be like that with all the schemes. And the same goes for the defense as well. I don't see why they don't have that. I really don't. And so yeah, it's very, very frustrating. It really is. It's very, very frustrating with what is happening to this game. This game was such a good game, and it was such, you know, it was so good. And really, you know, me personally, I really didn't think about it until everybody else started complaining about it. I really didn't, because I you know, from the time I got the PlayStation 4, I've gotten had Madden, and you know, I'm always excited to get the game, and for the most part, I understand why the game stays the same, because the game itself, it's good, it's great. Actually, it's great. I love the gameplay. And the changes that they added last year to some of the gameplay, I like the things where like when you come out of the huddle, like the people, like they don't go from the huddle to the ball. You come out of the huddle, they're already at the ball standing up, you know, and the offense is already there. I love that, and it makes it's quicker, get into the gameplay mode. I love it. It feels funner, but there are just other things that, you know, the gameplay, the game could be toned up a little bit, yes. And it could be, it could. I know, understand, try to be as realistic as it can be, while still being fun. I know they run a tight ship, but for the most part, the gameplay is fun. It's a fun game. If it's just based on gameplay, it's a 4.5-star game, right? That's based on gameplay alone. But there's more things surrounding the gameplay, you know, that needs to be worked on, and it needs to be fixed. So, and they gotta do stuff like the snow. I don't know why the snow. When you make it snow and it snows on the ground, and then it just goes away, like it doesn't accumulate. Like I can understand maybe like when you're playing and it doesn't accumulate during, you know, play, but then when you go into halftime it should be more snow down on the ground. But you know, they will continue to snow, but that doesn't happen. It just so. And the uniform doesn't get dirty enough. They don't get dirty in rain. They don't get it doesn't get dirty enough during the rain or during the snow games. There's more and more things, more and more ways to do to be so much better. And they really need to work on their presentation. I don't know what they need to do. I don't know if they need, again, steal it from ways to go. I mean, you can, you know, like I played a couple times, and I don't even remember the presentation, but for years the presentation would have been they introduced the quarterback, and then they go ahead and they do like the offensive line standing there, and they be dancing and everything like that. And then they go to the skill positions, and then the skill positions be there, they be there dancing. So I don't even know if they do that now. I didn't even recognize it when I played a few games that I did. But yeah, I don't even know if they have that, but it should be something even more close to that. I don't know if they want to do it, if they want to steal it from Sunday Night Football, where you're not going to get, well, maybe you can get, because Sunday Night Football, once they record you, saying who you are and where you're from. They don't record you every year because for years they had somebody who had dreadlocks who didn't have dreadlocks. He recorded his first one with dreadlocks, cut his dreadlocks off the next season. Here he's back. He's just got dreadlocks. Yabba yabba yabba. Clemson. So Sunday Night Football, do that. But I don't know if you want to take Sunday Night Football from that and have the real players do it, and then when you have like the new players or something like that, you just have the picture up there and then something like that, or I don't know what. But it's a lot of things need to be fixed, and what it is and what they are. Maybe at some point, as I continue on playing the game, I would actually probably do a video about what exactly is wrong with and what needs to be fixed. Something like that. Maybe I might do that. Maybe I might even do something like that. But as it goes along, what I would like to see with the game. But the game's been out quick. I've had it for a week now. So I got it the 3 days early access thing. So I've had it for a week. Give you my review on it, and listen, like I said, gameplay wise, it's a fantastic game. It always has been. It always will be, even though you can still get better. I know there are glitches. They can always patch those glitches, so I don't worry about that. I don't worry about maybe some of the extraordinary things. I saw one person on Twitter. He had it where it was he had the he was showing a thing where the defensive back over jumped the receiver to cut the ball to pick it off, and he was wondering, like, why is he jumping so high? How does he do that? And I don't. To me, that's not okay. I can deal with things like that. I know that's some other things as well. Where the running back was, they a couple years ago they added the thing where if you're falling, the running back can gain his balance. Yeah, added that. So I'm okay with that as well. But I think for and then I saw somewhere he was gaining his back and he just wasn't getting hit. He wasn't getting hit. He was getting hit, but he was still in that position. So that's kind of a bit of a glitch. I guess you can fix that because if at some point you keep getting hit and he's just still like that, he should be able to be knocked over or falling over. So, and I hate to do this. I don't take any pleasure in this. I really don't. Because I love Madden. I've been playing Madden since Madden 94 on the Sega Genesis, and I love this game. I love this franchise. It's one of the best franchises in the world. Not the best franchise in the world. And but you gotta call a spade a spade. The gameplay again, that's 4.5. Just the fact that a lot of it is just the same old shit each and every year, and they don't seem to fix it. Just that down long, I got to give it 2 stars. I'm just gonna give it 2 stars. So if you're so I'll say this: if you're okay with just doing the same old stuff each and every year, it's an updated roster. Maybe with new, a couple new things here, a couple new things there. Yes, get the game. Get the game. However, if you feel like you are, if you are, you don't want to, if you don't want to, like, give them money for the same game as it was last year, I can understand that as well. Now, hopefully, back in September, or not September, back in June was it? I think there was a trending tag called "Fix Madden Franchise" where it was trending, and the Madden people actually came out and said, "Hey, we heard you. We'll do better. Starting next year." And I hope so. I hope Madden 22 will will not have the face of the franchise. Get rid of that. You don't need to do that. Maybe it won't have any big upgrades to MUT or anything like that. If anything, personally, even though I do the MUT challenges and do things like that to do those things. Those things are fun and okay. Um, I have no problem doing it. I actually would prefer MUT go away as well. Just worry about the game, do the gameplay, fix the franchise, making sure that we don't have all these glitches. It's a 5 out of 5 gameplay wise. I mean, do franchise all of the stuff that you really see. You can even add other stuff to it as well. So let's go for it. Let's go for it, y'all. So come on, you can do this. And like I said, probably maybe month and a half from now, after I've played the game a lot over that time, maybe I will do a video where I talk about what is when I go into more detail about what I would like to see, in Madden, what I would like to not see in Madden, what I would like to have changed, what I would like to have, what I would like to see, become a norm or anything like that. So, so yeah, that's what I would like to see. So. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about Madden 21. What do you guys think? Did you guys buy it? Did you guys play it? Did you guys let me know what you guys thought of that. What do you guys think of what I've thought about it as well? Make sure you go to patreon.com/AJTRIP to become a patron. When I get to a certain amount of patrons, I'm gonna open it up for voting and things like that, so that you can see what you want me to talk about here on YouTube, what you want me to play over on my Twitch channel, things like Madden, PGA Tour, 2K21, NBA 2K21, Call of Duty in October and November when that comes out. So many games. And what you want me to talk about on my podcast, as that's a sports primarily only podcast, and although I would probably be open to talking about other things, depending on what the topic is when it comes to Patreon. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.